We start with once again the laser non-traditional machining process. Okay. Now today we discuss the laser jet machining processes or laser beam and also the plasma arc machining processes. The part of the electrothermal processes, one of the category of the classification of the non-traditional machining processes. Okay. First of all, what are the major characters of this electrothermal process is that the material removal mechanism is first melted the metals and evaporations. In we discussed the three types of the machine process. EDM also we melt the metals and then evaporations. Also in laser and plasma process. Okay. Now, first time we must know what is meant by the laser. So laser is all of you know these lasers. Laser is called as light amplification by stimulated emissions of radiations. This is a standard definition of the laser. And what are the properties of the lasers? There are the four properties are there. First is the highly monochromatics, called as the single wavelength. Laser have single wavelength or single colored, so it is called as a monochromatic light source. Second important property is the highly directional. The photons or the light or the waves are in same directions or directional points. Third is the highly collimated. Okay, the waveform doesn't or minimum dispersed at the propagated or very less divergence throughout the span of the lasers. Okay, that's why it is called as highly collimated. And last is called as the light source or the laser is a coherent beam. Generally is called as the in phase or same frequencies of the source. Bottom properties of the lasers. And laser beam machining is a narrow beam of intense monochromatic lights. It cuts the required steps of the profile or patterns in almost types of the material irrespective to the hardness. There is no matters of the hardness, no barrier of the hardness. Okay? And irrespective of its melting points. Any types of materials it can be cut by using this laser machining process. Generally, laser are used to cut the metals. It's called as profile cuttings. In most of the industry, they use the profile cutting by using the laser machining process, laser beam machining processes. Okay. Then come to the what are the basic of the lasers. All of you know what the lasers. Laser is called as the light amplifications by stimulating emissions of radiations. It means the laser is called the light. Okay, the light is a kind of energy released by a photon. Light is made up of very small particles called as photons. One of the important things is that the light is a kind of energy. So we use this light energy to using machining processes. Okay. Electron revolves around this nucleus. Last lecture we see about the nuclear structures or atomic structures. Okay. Then neutron, proton, atomic structure consists of the neutron, proton, electrons. Protons are positive charges, electrons are negative charges. These negative charges of electrons revolves around these protons and neutrons. The proton and neutrons are concentrated in the nucleus. The electrons revolve in different shells that is called as the energy shells or energy levels. Each and energy levels containing the specific amount of the electrons. And then a specific amount of generally is called as first shell containing the 2 electrons, second the 8 electron, third shell containing the 18th electron, and so on. So we discuss the 3 energy levels for the laser generations. Okay, first level is called as the E1, that is called as a ground state or low energy levels. Second is called as the E2. Third is called as the E3, the higher energy levels. Okay, then how this photon is generated? The electron structure shows there is electron structure is a stable structure. That's why there is no any radiations from these electron structures. So we generate the radiations. These radiations called as the lasers. So how the laser is generated? When this electron shifted from this to these shells and disturb these shells, at that time electrons generated, photon generated, and called as the radiations. Okay, the electron at the lower levels need some extra energy to jump from lower energy level to the higher energy levels. Okay, when these electrons jump from lower to the higher energy, at that times we generate the radiations. Okay, this extra energy can be supplied from various types of energies. How much energy is needed? This to shift from this electron to these shells by using some heat energy, electric field, or light energy. Simple example is that in our incandescent. Okay, now go to the next part. Is the what are the principles of the laser? How the lasers are generated? What are the basic principles for the generation of the lasers? Okay, laser works on in the form of the process that is consist of the four process: absorption, spontaneous emissions, pumping, and population inversions, and stimulated emissions. So the two types of radiations are there: spontaneous and stimulated emissions. That the stimulated emissions is important. They are used for these lasers. Okay, one by one we discuss about these steps very fastly. Okay, what is mean by absorptions? Okay, figure shows the lower energy level is called as ground state E1, and this is the higher energy level is called as E2 or E3s. When we consider the three energy level system, at that times this higher energy level state is called as the E3 levels. These electrons is not directly jump from these energy levels, but when these electrons supplied by the extra energy, at that times they can jump from this state to these states. Okay, so some photon energy are used to jump from this, but how much energy is required to shift this electron to higher energy levels? So the difference between the higher energy levels and the lower energy levels, such amount of energy applied to this electron, at that time they shift from lower energy to the higher energy level. This is called as the absorptions of the radiations. When we absorb the radiation, then the electron shift from the lower level to the higher levels, jump from higher levels. Okay. Now come to the spontaneous emissions. What is mean by the spontaneous emissions? The excited electrons, when these electrons shift to the higher energy level, at that time this state goes to the excited state, because there's additional electrons are occupied the shells. That's why it get excited due to the higher energy, because the electron having some energies. Okay, the excited electron doesn't remain for longer period in that state. So this the lifetime of the electron in the excited state is 10⁻⁻8 seconds only. Very or very little times it can remain in the excited state. So it come back to its original state. Generally, this phenomenon is a natural phenomena. They directly shift to the higher energy level to the ground level or the lower energy levels. When this shift from this higher energy level to lower energy level, at that time they're losing the energy in the form of the photons. Again, they lose energy in the form of the photon. This is called as a photon. Now this photon is emitted or radiated from this process. At that time, this photon is called as spontaneous emissions. What is in the spontaneous emissions? The spontaneous emissions having properties called as the inherent light, incoherent lights. It's called a randomly emitted in the structures. Okay, these are the spontaneous emission. The photon emitted in the spontaneous emission process does not exactly the same direction of the instance. Okay, first is the absorption, second is called as the spontaneous, when electron directly come back to the lower instance, but it is a natural phenomenon, natural way. At that time, the emitted photon is called as spontaneous emissions. Now, what is the pumping and the population inversions? And now we consider the three energy level to understand this third and fourth process: the pumping and population inversion and the simulatory emissions. Okay, the three level is called as the E1, E2, and E3. Generally, three level having three different names. E1 is called as the ground levels or ground states. Okay, now come to the third and fourth step for the lasers is called as a pumping and population inversions. Okay, the figure shows the first figure, second, third, and fourth fifth shows the all two phases or two processes of the laser generations. This is the E1 containing the n number of the when the photons or extra energy source or extra energy give some energy to the E1 states. At that time, excited and the electrons jump to the or pump to the higher energy state level is called as E3 level, is called as a pump state level, but electron not stable, not more than the 10 to the minus 8 seconds. So they can again come back to the E1 state or ground state level. But there between the intermediate state, at that times very small amount of energy, then electrons jump to the intermediate states. Okay, when this electron jump from the E3 to E2 or higher level to the intermediate states or metastable state, at that time they emit non-radiative emissions, generally called as the thermal energy, are produced or liberated from these states. Okay, this thermal energy are absorbed by the material itself, not as emitted or not as radioactive components. Okay, at some time the number of electrons at the metastable state is more than the number of electron in the ground state, then the phase is called as the population inversions. But it is not possible that the number of electrons are increasing in the metastable state. So some of the electrons directly or naturally jump to the ground state level and they emit the photons. Now these photons are used to photons are used to the energy photons energy used to shift this metastable electron to the ground state electrons. This generate the two photons. These two photons have the property called as the monochromatic light source, as a unique dimensional, collimated, and a coherent beam structure. This is called as the, okay, 1 minute. These two photons for the single electrons called as the single atoms called as the stimulated emission. This stimulated emission is nothing but the lasers. Okay. Now come to the working of the lasers principles. Okay. The working of the laser is very simple. As last we see this the four process of the lasers. Here is the placing or mediums in which the electron having ground states. This lasing element or material consists of these two reflector or two mirrors. One is called as the 100% reflecting mirrors. Second is called as the partial reflecting mirrors. Then external energy like electrical, optical, or chemical energy is supplied to these lasing elements. At that times, the electrons get shifted to the energy level 1 or 2 and they get unstables. Okay. And then next is called as they generate the spontaneous emissions when the electron jump from the E3 level to E2 levels. These spontaneous emissions and some electrons are saturated at the metastable levels, and these spontaneous emissions get attracted towards this metastable layer and they produce the two photons atoms. Okay, now they are concentrated and this stimulated emissions dominates all the spontaneous emissions and they generate a beam, and this beam are passed out from these partially reflecting mirrors. Now this beam is called as the laser beam. Okay. Now next. What are the setup for the laser beam machining processes? Okay, hello. I share this video once again for you. Okay, setup of the laser beam machining processes. What are the laser beam? The figure shows the actual setup for the laser beam machining processes. Okay, here is the ruby rod with the reflecting mirrors. Ruby rod is generally are the lasing elements in flash lamps. Flash lamp is called as the energy supplied to the lasing elements or electrons. These are filled with the gas like xenon, krypton, and argons. And third is called as third element for the laser beam machining is the cooling arrangements. Cooling arrangement necessary because when we go for these thermal energy generations in the lasing elements, then lens is required and power supply. Power supply is used to use supply to the flash lamps to generate the flashes for the lasing elements. Okay, these are the lasing elements are discharged to containing with the 100% reflecting mirrors, and here is called as the partial reflecting mirrors. When this this power supply is on, the flash lamp start the flashes. The flashes are near about the 12 flashes per minute. This flash give the energy to these lasing elements. The lasing elements get excited at the when they get excited, they generate the photons. These photons are pass from these partial reflecting mirrors. They in the form of the laser light beams. Okay, but these are the full light beams related to the discharge tube or dimension of the discharge tube. Now lenses are used for the actual machining. This laser beam is not directly collide on the workpiece. So all the lasers, all the beams are concentrated, and we can remove the metal from the workpiece. That's why these lenses are very used or very important, okay, for the machining process. These are the general setup or general working principles for the lasers. Okay. Now, what are the control parameters for the? Okay, figure shows the idea of the parameters. First is called as the your lens is one of the parameters, or supply is the parameters, lasing element is the parameters. Okay, these are the general input parameters for the LBM processes. What are the control parameters? Called as first is the focal length. If the focal length is less, the straight hole will be produced, and the focal length is more, the taper hole will be produced by nature by default. Okay, the focal length is less, we can point out the laser on a workpiece, they can produce a straight holes. Okay, now second control panel parameter is the flash lamp. Okay, what is the importance of the flash lamp? It operates at a rate of the 12 flashes every minute. It should kept warm to obtain a maximum efficiencies. And third is called the power density. The machine power density should be the higher. And you can find out the we can achieve the final efficiency of the processes. Okay, now come to the what are the types of lasers? There are the different types of lasers. First is called as solid state, gas lasers, liquid lasers, and semiconductor lasers. Okay, in industry generally we use this solid state lasers. In that solid state, ruby rod are the popular lasing elements for the solid state lasers. Okay, there are the different types. Most of the industry use the solid state. One of some industry use the gas laser also for their machining process. It depend on the applications of the machines. Okay, here is the process characters of the lasers. What are the applications? Again, that applications and the different types of lasers are used. Okay, general first is called as the large hole up to 1.5 mm diameters. For that, we use the ruby rod, anti-gas, or these are generally the solid state lasers. These are solid materials. Okay, when we go for the thick cuttings, at that time we use the CO2 with gas assistant. This is called as the gas types of laser are used for the thick cutting or thin slitting of plastics. When we go for the plastics, we use the CO2 weapon for the metals, anti-ag, rubber glass, organic non-metals, pulse CO2s, ceramics, pulse CO2 or NdAg. These are the different types of lasing elements. These are the lasing element to generate the lasers. Okay, NdAg, Ruby, CO2, then anti-glass are the element for the lasers. Now, what are the advantages, disadvantages, and applications of the lasers? Okay, first advantage is called as the no tool wears in these processes because there is no physical tools. The laser beam act as a tools, but is not a physical tools. Cut through airs, gas, and liquids, and no forces exerted on the workpiece. Though no physical tools, that's why no any forces exerted on the workpiece. There is no any residual stresses develop in the workpiece. Then what are the disadvantages? Okay, there are the 3 to 4 disadvantages. Life of the flash lamp is short. When the flash lamp flashes, at that time they consume. So the flash lamps are one of the important, because when flash lamp is a control parameters, that's why the life of the flash lamp is short. So we can, these are the disadvantages for the laser beam machine process. Skilled operator is required because these are radiations and hazardous process. Then cannot cut reflective materials. Okay, because the laser is a light can easily reflected from the reflected materials. That's why it is not reflecting materials, just like mirrors and any shining materials. Okay, and high capital cost. The process having the initial capacity cost is very high. Then what are the applications? Application of the laser are the different types of application. But at the industry, the laser beam machining used cutting and engraving the patterns on the thin films, trimming of the sheet metals and plastic materials, and no circular holes can be possible. Non-circular hole can be possible by using this. These are the general common applications of this laser beam machiners. Okay, this is about this laser beam machining process. We study the starting from the what are the lasers, how the laser is generated, then what are the setup of the lasers, in number of components of the laser machine processes, then go for the controlling parameters of the lasers, then types of lasers, materials are used, and what are the advantages and applications. The most important thing is that there is no tool wears, because there is no physical tools. It requires the skilled operators, and non-circular hole can be possible by using these processes. This is about this laser beam machining processes. Okay, now today we start with the second. Before starting, we take the short quiz for this laser beam machining processes. First is called as mechanism of the material removal in laser beam machining is due to. Okay, what are the right answers? First is called as a mechanical erosion due to the impact of the high energy photons. It is not true. Electrochemical etching, that is not true. Melting and vaporizations due to the thermal effect of the impingement of high energy laser beam. Answer for these questions. The mechanism of the material removal in the laser beam or LBM is due to the melting and vaporizations due to the thermal impact of the impingement of high energy. And second question is the laser beam is produced due to. Okay, generally it is not directly called as the spontaneous emissions, because laser having the property of the collimated, highly directionals, and the coherent. But the spontaneous emission doesn't have the coherent, monochromatics, and the unidirections properties. That's why spontaneous emission is not a part for the laser beam. Then stimulated emissions followed by the spontaneous emissions is again the wrong thing. Then spontaneous emissions followed by spontaneous absorptions. Again, this is the wrong, because spontaneous emission followed by the spontaneous not generate the lasers. Spontaneous absorptions leading to population inversions. and followed by the stimulated emission. These are the right answers for the laser beam produced due to the spontaneous absorptions leading to population inversions and followed by the stimulated emission. This population inversions are one of the important steps in the generation